last topic of the day, a controversial one. This one's for the ladies.
What's the topic, bro?
Should you want a 50-50 guy?
I mean, I don't know if I'm not a lady.
For sure, but
I don't know if I can answer the question. But what I'm gonna say is, if you make $50,000 and your husband or significant other makes $50,000, then I believe that that's a 50-50 situation in regards to bills, right? So it doesn't make sense to have a lopsided allowance or a lopsided pitch in for the bills for the man just because he's a man. Now, if you are equally making the same as much as your spouse, then everyone should pitch in equally. That's my take on partnership in a marriage.
Okay, I'll play.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
But my answer is complicated. So now, if me and my spouse make $50,000 each, we're married, and we're living $100,000 lifestyle, then yes, effectively, I'm going to be a 50-50 guy. I mean, there's just no way other than that. But now, what likely will happen with just the way I think, if we both made $50,000 a year, we're probably going to live a $50,000 lifestyle.
Okay. So in that sense, 25. 25,000 from her, 25,000 from you.
Probably not. I'll probably do a little more.
Okay.
I'll do a little more at that income. Yeah, I'll do a little more. I personally don't plan to be a 50-50 guy.
Okay.
That's just I have my own reasons for that. But I don't personally plan to do it, but I understand it. Again, if you want to live, if you insist on living a certain elevated lifestyle, everybody got to pitch in.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I could say this and you could disagree, but I feel like there's a simple formula, right?
Yeah.
You take the total of the two incomes and you divide it by one income, and that's your percentage. And then you just take 100% and minus it from that number, right? So if you have 60,000, 40,000, that's a 60-40 split right there. Depending on who makes the 60,000 will contribute 60% of their to the 60% of the bills. That's just how I feel. I mean, it's a simple formula.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Unless there's an explainable reason, I wouldn't feel comfortable with my wife paying more bills than me. Unless it's like I took a step back to go back to school, or I had an injury or something like that. Barring anything like that, if I'm going to work normal and this is a job I'm going to do, I don't feel comfortable with my wife paying more bills. No, actually, I will say, no, my wife will not pay more bills than me. The only situation that would happen is if I marry a celebrity, but I'm not even checking for celebrities. So, yeah, that's just not, that's not going to happen for me personally.
So if you had a wife that made $300,000 and you continue to make what you make, and let's just say she makes $500,000.
Okay.
She's not paying majority of the bills?
No.
Why not? Why not? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying...
I know it does. I mean, it doesn't make any practical sense, I guess.
Sense, no.
Sure, I agree with that, but nah, I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
So what happens to the rest of the $500,000?
That's on her. She worked hard to study and make that money. Let her have it.
Okay.
As long as there is some contribution to the household, I don't have an issue with that.
Okay. Now, I'm from the South, so of course I have similar views with this from you, right? Okay. Yeah. I believe in a 70-30, 65-35 rule. I'm not a 50-50 guy. I believe in a 70-30. That's more aligned with what I believe in. Especially if you're a working, high earner. I don't see why a woman wouldn't contribute at least 30% to the family. That makes sense to me. Just because, I am a man and I have to contribute more than my wife.
Yeah, but now with your example, if I married a woman that's making $500,000 a year, I'm likely going to be a 50-50 situation.
That makes more sense.
To me, I mean, that's just me, right? At that point, in that situation, I'll probably recategorize myself to a 50-50 dude, but I couldn't let her pay more of the bills. I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Okay, so all the trips that you guys go on, all the gear that you're buying, all the other, miscellaneous things, that would be all her. I'm just saying. buy the Yeezys and the Air Jordans, you know?
Myself, I've been doing it. I mean, because at that point, okay, let's say I'm married to a woman that makes $500,000. These are very extreme,
super extreme
scenarios that I don't even think apply to most people. Won't even apply to me. But let me be in la la land for a second.
Yeah.
If she makes $500,000, I'm still gonna do me. Like, I'm gonna do what I've been doing. I already own a home. You know, I'm on my plan of reducing debt. Now, if I'm married to her and she's like, hey, I want to help you with your debt reduction, I'm not going to say no because we're married. And if she had debt, I would help her reduce it. So in that sense, but then I'm not counting that towards no formula. But base bills we pay, she will never pay more than 50% unless I'm down bad and injured or something. You know what I'm saying? Or out of work. But yeah, other miscellaneous stuff, if she wants to do the trip thing, she can. But me, how I am, I'm going to match that energy and take her on the trip as well. You know, so it would actually never really balance out. She'll have to be a millionaire for me to like be like, I give up. And I'm not going to try to match that energy. But I'm not checking for any millionaire. So
I feel that. But there are women that make over $500,000 a year. I'm not saying that there's a lot of women out there, but in a sense where they do, I feel like some men have to take the back seat for the relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking care of the kids and being a house husband and also make your $100,000, $150,000 or $200,000 or whatever it is. But if your wife makes $1 million, then she's probably going to want to live in $1 million home. She's probably going to want to live, you know, a very luxurious life. And there's no way that person can match that energy. So you're
right, but again,
anyway,
this is just not for me.
Yeah,
but you're right. You're correct.
So I guess the challenge would be, men, just make more than your wives. Keep going, keep trying, come up with new things, create new skills, learn machine learning or something.
Yeah,
solar energy.
Look, man, look, check this out, man. I say all this to say this. I wouldn't categorize myself as a 50-50 guy. I just lined out the extreme situation it will take for me to even agree to be 50-50.
Okay.
But do I think there's something wrong with a 50-50 guy? I would say a 50-50 guy is better than no guy.
Okay.
That's a fact. And then a 50-50 guy that's going to treat you right, you know, be faithful, respect you, is a good dad. That's better than a 100-0 guy that's a dirtbag.
And they do exist.
So we have to talk about that, right? I mean, you know,
right.
You can't separate emotion from finances.
Right. I mean, I've seen several women make a substantial amount of money, and then they go for the guy that's going to stay at the house and play the, you know, PS4 or the new PS5 that's coming out that Chris is probably getting.
Nah, I'm not getting it. Not yet, at least.
Anyway, sitting at the crib doing nothing. And it seems like that's the trend for women that make, you know, millions of dollars or whatever it is. And I feel like, you know, maybe they need to think about getting somebody that can support themselves and can appreciate a partner. If my wife all of a sudden started making millions and millions of dollars, I'm not going to divorce my wife because she's a multi-millionaire. I'm going to hold her purse and I'm going to go to the conference.
Nah, bro.
As long as I'm in, you know, Gucci loafers and a custom-made suit from Not Standard, that's what, I don't have a problem with that. And it doesn't make me a beta male. It's just, you know, she's a higher earner.
But that's what the internet's going to say.
How? I mean, in my circumstance right now, that's not what it is. But if it were to flip, anything could happen.
But they're going to call you a beta because you're not taking care of your wife.
I mean, the years before she became a multi-millionaire, and this is all speculation and all, whatever, hypothetical
but
situations.
I'm going to wish that on you. I wish your wife becomes a millionaire because I want you to eat.
Me too. Me too.
So
Me too. You know what I'm saying? I'll hold the Louis Vuitton. No problem.
Nah, I mean,
in the Birkin bag, right?
And let me clarify. I said I'm not checking for millionaires, but you know, if my girl wants to be a millionaire, go for it. I ain't gonna break up with you, but just, you know, if I'm single and I have nobody, I'm not trying to date a millionaire. This is, I mean, I don't want to live. That's just not how I give it up. So,
right.
You know, but yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, some people, there's a certain level of luck to being a millionaire as well. And the thing with luck is you don't necessarily know when it's going to come. So you could very well be with somebody that becomes a millionaire.
That's true.
During the course of the relationship.
That's possible.
How do you reconcile it then?
We got to go back to the drawing board, man.
You're already living in the house you thought y'all should be living in according to your salary, right? Like for you, that's your next house. You're already in that next house. Yeah. Then your wife becomes a millionaire. You upgrade a house, you get that multi-million-dollar house.
I mean, honestly, based on what I think, if I can't afford 25%, what did I say before? It's 25% myself. If my take home, then I would go against it, because if we got a divorce, then I'm looking crazy.
But she's a millionaire. It makes no sense to live in the house you're living in.
Yeah. We have to come back to that.
On one hand, if you don't take care of her, or you don't have the ability to take care of her, you're a beta. On the other hand, if you don't allow her to if you don't allow her to fully extend and embrace the fact that she's a millionaire, then you're insecure.
Yeah. I mean, we're at a disadvantage, man. We're at a disadvantage.
Not if your woman makes $1 million. I don't want to hear it. You're living good. But I know we got off topic, but at the end of the day, I said there's nothing wrong with the 50-50 guy. Mm. If that's what's available for you, hey, 50-50 guy could be a great guy. What do you think?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a 50-50. Based on your situation, you guys could have 3 or 4 kids and need every cent of that 50-50 relationship. So I don't see a problem with it. I do see a problem with a spouse, man or female, making a substantial amount and not sharing. So one person making $50,000 more than the other person and not equally giving their portions to their spouses. I don't think that's fair as well. So
well, let me be devil's advocate. Okay. Why would a woman make all that money just to get married and give it to you?
Well, it just doesn't make any sense, because when you get married, it's 50-50 anyway. It doesn't matter if it's put in her account. Yeah.
It depends. Okay.
Yeah, it's 50-50. Like, if it's in her account, whatever her personal account says and my personal account, it's together. So that's going to be a 50-50 if we get a divorce anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
There's prenups.
There are prenups. That's why you get somebody that's on your level when you first start, and then you guys grow into. But
I'm saying in a different universe.
Yeah.
Equity Devil's not married. He meets a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta get my coins then, man. She puts every cash down on the house.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. That's not my situation, so I can't speak on
the moral of the story is what for you, man? Yay or nay on 50-50 guys? Should ladies check for them?
Sheesh, man. Ladies with no children should not check for a 50-50 guy.
Whoa.
Wow. 50-50 relationships, I do not have a problem with them at all. There's nothing wrong with that. I want a partnership in my relationship. I have a partnership. So all jokes aside, there's nothing wrong with a 50-50 relationship at all.
Well, there you have it, guys. The Young Equity Podcast signs off on 50-50 dudes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, if you're mad about that, you have some hate, please leave it in the comment section. We will reply. This is Young Equity Chris.
And this is your boy, Young Equity Devin. Let's get it.
Peace.